the lie. She's not the mom. Trying too hard versus laying off a bit.
I'm Cass.
I'm Kathryn.
Transaction versus submission. This is going to piss some people off today. How we got here versus how to move forward.
So it should be gratitude and love if it's not desire. We're Morrow Marriage.
Let's flip divorce statistics with the new marriage.
Welcome to the Morrow Marriage podcast, guys, where we are real, raw, uncensored, and anointed. All right, guys, today is going to be a fun episode. Why? Because it's the lie. She's not the mom. And I know that sounds a little bit confusing for you guys right now, because
I'm like, yes, I am.
This is the first episode I think that you have ever said, I want to do an episode on this.
Oh.
We were out on a date, and if you know anything about my wife, especially, she likes to meet people. Okay.
I do.
She loves the energy. She loves to give energy. She loves to be the life of the party. She likes to meet people that bring her to life. It's just like this big whole life-making party.
Oh, I know what we're going to talk about.
So we were on this date last week, and we met this couple. They were super fun, uber fun. This great musician, and I shared the musician Andrew. I can't remember his last name on Instagram. And what you thought was so incredible. She's trying to get to know them a little bit, and she's trying to figure out how long they've been married, and they've got teenage kids, and like you were like, oh, we have to do an episode on this now.
Oh yeah, this was so cute, you guys. Okay, so first of all, they were so fun. This girl brought my fun out. She was younger than, just a little bit younger than I am. She was 29. She was a lot younger, and he was older. He was,
I think 45,
46 or something.
Yeah, maybe.
So there was a big age gap, but he was very young at heart. And so I was asking questions. I was complimenting her on her ring, and I couldn't tell if the bands were attached to the ring. So if it was an engagement ring or a wedding ring. And so I said, are you guys engaged or are you married? And they both answered, we're married. And then, I said, how long have you been married? And I had just been talking to him. And how it started was they were going to be driving to Florida the next day. They're bringing the kids, they're bringing the dog. You know, what kind of dog do you have? How old are your kids? They have 2 boys, age 11 and 13. And I said, are they your kids or her kids or one of each? And he said, I caught him off guard. And I was like, one of each? And he said, And he did not want to go any further. And I was like, so one's like the older one's yours and the younger one is hers. And he said, And so I was like, okay. So then I was complimenting her on her ring. And this couple was in love. Like they were you could just tell there was nothing fake. They were just in love. They did admit to being, they're both crazy. And so,
which I could see.
Yeah, I could totally see that. But I complimented her on her ring. She immediately said they're married. And I said, how many years have you been married? And she looked at him and she said, how old is, and she said the oldest boy's name. How old is whatever his name is? 13 years. And so I was like, cool, 13 years. And then I remembered that she's 29. And so I was like, okay, she's really dedicated to that. These are, that they are like a family, that these are their kids. He didn't know what to say about whose kid was whose. And then she says that 13 years because that's how old he is. And I said, a little while later, we asked a few more questions, and I was like, I just want to let you guys know, like, I know that you're lying to me. I know that you haven't been married for 13 years because, and I don't remember the kid's name, Riker's 13. And that would mean that you got married at 16, which I think it isn't really the thing here. And you're pregnant at 15, which you could be pregnant at 15, but because you're saying that you got married at 16, I just don't believe it. I know it's a lie. And she was like, no, it's true. No, he's my kid. And I was like, well, he just said that he was his kid and the other one was your kid. He's like, no, they're both my kids.
I was like, all right, I know how this goes down. Just show me your pictures, the birth photos.
So she picks up her phone.
Starts scrolling.
She's invested in
this lie. She is invested.
She's invested. She so desperately wanted to present a united front with her husband. I didn't care that they were lying. I thought it was so adorable.
It was cute. Yeah.
They were each trying to figure out what to say to this new couple that they just made friends with.
I think it's crazy that they don't have the story down pat.
People probably don't ask them, but it is crazy.
Yeah, but here's the thing. That's what you guys need to pull from this story. The united front.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it does not matter if you were talking about how busy your lives are right now. It doesn't matter if you're talking about the facts in the years or whatever with the kids. It doesn't even matter if your partner is on board. You are united.
Mm-hmm.
You are moving in the direction that you want this to go. So that's not going to be easy for a lot of you listeners. That's why you're listening to this podcast. Okay.
And that's also why this was so crazy to me that this is what we were seeing.
Mhm.
It's sad that it's just crazy that we have to do a podcast on this because people don't present the united front.
Mhm.
This 29-year-old girl who should not be more wise than any of the women that are listening to this podcast or any of the men that are listening to this podcast. She was so wise that she knew that this is what she wanted. And so she provided structure for where she wanted the conversation to go.
That's
it just
right.
blows my mind.
That's right. Now, you will find that this could be challenging if your partner is coming against your word, right? If your partner is not united, but then you just have to think more along the lines of like, still, where do I want to go? Kathryn just said provided structure for what they wanted us to believe. Okay.
This is our family. These are my kids. These are our kids. This is our family. Don't ask me any more questions. This is what it is. And they were smiling about it and they could see, you know, how cute I thought it was. And so it was all great, but this is how it is. And this is what we're doing. And so whether or not, hopefully you can have a united front with your partner, but you are still going to have to provide that structure to go in the direction that you want it to go and to bring your partner along with you, which is what we teach about influence.
That's right. And, you know, let's say, for example, one of you guys is venting or complaining, right? Well, that's not going to provide you the united front, right? You can still be whole in that. Yeah, well, that part's not wrong. Yesterday, I said to you when I was on a coaching call, Kathryn said something that was like, thanks for holding me accountable, right? That's my way of being united, even though, you know, you weren't upset about anything, but that's how a lot of you would view somebody holding you accountable, somebody nagging, somebody being upset, somebody venting, right? Just look at it, because if you're looking at what could I do differently, who could I be, where do I want this to go, just own it, whatever it is, right?
Stay on the same team.
If it's blatantly a lie, I'm going to give you something this is a story from a long time ago from one of my clients, but his wife would really go on and talk about like how his jokes weren't funny, right?
Just like your parents.
Yeah, kind of thing. But like literally saying that's not funny. And then for whatever reason, the guy there was a double date. The guy made the same joke, the other guy, the other couple, and she laughed her butt off. He was really upset. So he told me the story and he wanted some mindset work on it, whatever. But here's the thing. Even if your wife or your husband says something like that, like throws you under the bus, you can just go along with it. Well, I guess you're right. It's not funny. Why? Because you're presenting the united front. Why do I have to engage? That's like such a minute version of the crazy train, but why would I engage in the bullshit? Right? It doesn't have to be.
It's something that could lead to the crazy train.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And so, I mean, it didn't for him. He got on the phone with me and we talked, whatever. But when you want to be united, it's like when you want to be married and your partner wants a separation or divorce, you present structure for where I'm going. I know your partner's going to be pissed. The guy that signed up today, I was like, and I know you told your wife you're going to get the apartment above the business. I get it. You're not, whether you work with me or not, you're not getting that apartment. You're going to stay in the home. Well, she's going to be mad. I know she's going to be mad. United. Present the united front. I love that couple. I hope we get together with them.
Oh, we
They're
have
great.
to.
Yeah. All right, guys. See you next time.